Alright guys, just wanted to put this up tonight, so it's going to be a 2-for-1. I wanted to go over what our set 2 metagame is going to look like, and it's pretty simple. This is it here. This is all you need to know for set 2. Thank you. Don't forget to like and sub. This is what the game is going to be looking like come March. No questions asked. I'm trolling real quick. I'm sorry. Yeah, and that's what we're gonna look at. All right, guys. Peace. No, I'm joking. But I am gonna say that Zoro man. Oh God, he's pretty gross. This most recent version of it, I thought he was really good, and then when people started adding 4 Whitebeard to their lists, it flipped everything on its head, man. Let me tell you, like, this deck is not a meme. It's really hard to play around. I saw a recent kid list from this weekend. Thanks to Anthony from the Movement Guys for posting all the tournament results. You're a fucking goat. But the kid player, he was showing off like a really weird green control deck. When I mean weird, there's no Kiku, which is, if you know anything about the game at this point, which I'm assuming if you're watching to see the OP-02 metagame, you should. Okiku's a really big piece of green. It's like the Nico Robin of green. Like, Nico Robin's such a good card for removal, like Okiku does that at 5k, by the way. So, like, Okiku is really good, and this deck had none of it. He was playing 4 Punk Gibson as his only 4 events, just to have that extra counter power, like some thick counter power. 4 8-cost kid, no Odins to be seen at all. I'm assuming this player did this knowing that he was going to play red 90% of the time, and I'm pretty sure that's what happened. In the game that was shown, he actually, they split, but he ends up winning anyway, just so you can see how the matchup is played. Granted, the red player, I don't know if he was just trolling at that point. He did pass 4 Dawn up with like a couple cards in hand. I don't know why. That was damage that could have either gone to one of the characters on board, or he had a pistol in hand that he literally searched for that turn, or the turn before with Nami or something. But I digress. That version of Kid didn't seem that bad, but again, I don't know how that does in a mirror match of green. So I wouldn't take that at face value, but if you're, like I said, if you're expecting, and I'm gonna expect a lot of this, then definitely try something like that out, because Zoro is a menace. This is probably our first tier 0 deck. I know people were pissed off in set 1 with, and for those who haven't had the experience yet, you're gonna feel like it's cheating, of mono green kid with the ACOS kid. It's gonna seem really, really busted. And it's good, but it's far from broken. Like, Red figured out the stuffs to actually beat Kid pretty handedly, and Kaido was never dead. Like, Kaido was never dead in that matchup by any means. Being able to ramp and hit your big cards way before the other deck is nothing to be ignored right now. Simply being that, Kid still has to play along the down curve, and he has to tap out for his big things, and none of them at that cost have on-play effects that matter into purple. So unless you're, like, getting beat down early by, like, Okiku's into purple, like, you have nothing to worry about. Purple's still a good deck, and red kept Kid in check pretty well. Also, depending on the version of Law, my Law boys, I have not lost a Kid ever with Law. Law has such a fantastic matchup, just because you get the best of both worlds of the red removal for all of Kid's scary cards, and, being able to do either the same thing if you're going down that road, or just, swarming board. But anyway, moving on, this is probably what you're gonna see. My boy. What? Oh, Yaji! Why do you suck? Alright, I might be exaggerating a little. He doesn't suck. He's not like king bad, but he's still pretty medium by comparison. Luffy, low key, does a very similar thing to Zoro, but in a different vein, and I've been having a lot of fun with this deck. I might post the deck list after, just so you can get a look at it. I'll do a brief explanation just because I haven't talked about OP-02 yet, so like if you guys really don't know, then I'll go into depth on that in another vid. Dofi B, Ivan, I want to say, like, this isn't bad. Impel Down Blue is such a good thing, dude. Like, Impel Down Blue is amazing. As well as Impel Down Purple, so I'm going to put Kaido up there too. Udo, you can stay down there. You're not that bad. I really think this is an underrated deck, like, really fun deck. Odin, you get completely outshined by Kinemon. I can't defend you anymore. Kinemon is stupid. Let me just start separating. I'm going to go back and talk about each one a little bit. Croc, you do nothing now. You literally cannot keep pace with this at all. I don't care what anybody tells me. I'm not going to sugarcoat it this time. Like, Croc sucks. He does not do anything remotely good to the deck. To this deck. Maybe it's a green. Maybe. Because, again, you get access to such good Impel Down Blue cards. But this deck, yeah, good luck, buddy. Anybody who tells me that blue into red is not a bad matchup, you're trolling. You're trolling. Blue into green? Sure, I could believe that. Blue into red? Get the hell out of here, man. So, Croc, you're staying down here. Garp, I honestly think is super underrated as our black leader. Smoya. Smoker. I'm going to put you in B2 just because... But I don't think he's as good as this, personally. The rest of you, I'm gonna put him up there, and I'm gonna talk about why. Law, although Law after week 1 of this metagame dropped off pretty bad. His numbers are not what they used to be, just because the metagame is so fast. And like, if you thought OP-01 Law into Zoro was rough, this is this is impossible. Vista and Robin and just, you know, the blazing speed at which this man can attack you, like, good luck. Like, you're not resolving any of those 1-drops. He's just going to kill it all, and you're going to look sad. Even with the film package. I think the film package might be the best way to go, just because you get to cheat cards into play with their abilities, but at the same time, it sucks. This just sucks, and the fact that he's, like, literally... I don't have the numbers yet, so I might be talking on my ass, but I'm pretty sure he's like 50% of the metagame share. Like, good luck. Literally, if I go in the sim right now, I will fight like 5 Zoros before I see anything different. Z... Control's not good right now. That's literally the biggest issue, is like, control is not good right now. Luffy, the film package helped a little, but I still think you're pretty trash. But I'm going to be nice and say you're here. The rest of you guys can stay down here. You're never going to move until we get something new, or Bandai steps in and we get a banned list or a limited list. I'm not a Bandai gamer, so if anybody in the comments wants to jump in and tell me how they do ban list, or I think they do limiting, please let me know. But as far as I see it, this is what you're looking at. I might have to drop some of you guys down. I'm not going to lie to you. Kaido, I'm going to put him at the top of B. Why? Because Impel Down Purple is so good. I actually think Magellan's super underrated, but I might put him on the end just because Kaido does Kaido things. But the fact that Smoker exists, or Black rather, the color exists with cards that cannot be KO'd, makes playing with Kaido very awkward. Like, you have to play really aggressive, and even then, it's like the other guy is still playing cards. So this is tough. Zoro, you know, I'm gonna show you guys real quick. I'm gonna show you why Zoro's a god. Real quick. So this is the list. There's some variations to it, with people trying to like tech against each other using this deck, but for the most part, this is what it is. So this Makino, on top of your Zoro turns every single one drop into a threat. Like, activate main. So if by some chance your opponent doesn't kill this and it sticks, one of your cards potentially can get 2 times of 3000 power plus the one off of Zoro for 4k. So your Nami swings for 6. Any of your Sunny swings for 7. Like, that's so good. Vista clears all the blockers out of your way. Blockers suck. Trying to block right now is such a bad thing, which is why you'll see in this deck, guess what? There's no chopper. In a deck centered around one drops, there's no chopper. We have no time for that. Get that out my face. We're just playing to the board and we're swinging. This Gordon is finally seeing play, mostly because now we have a tutor. Not a tutor, but a search card, like our Nami, for one drops. Any red one drop can be tutored off this curly dot on. So the fact that I can find any of these pieces, or even a Nami, to keep like furthering my digging is so good. This Uta rebuys value. They kill your Makino, whatever. They kill Gordon before you can resolve his effect to give something minus 3k, which on top of this or a pistol is busted. I've also seen things where you can go like Gordon. If you had a Gordon in trash, you get it back with Uta, play Gordon and pistol. Like, granted, that's a big play, but I have seen it and it does happen. Zoro, I don't have to explain why. Zoro's ability is stupid. Robin, they're good. It's good. At this point, you should know it's good. Nami, obviously, we're searching our Straw Hats out. This innocuous little one drop. I mean, we would probably be playing any one of them in this slot, but the fact that Sunny-kun is a searchable target by Nami, ugh. Guys, do I not have an updated list? I don't know if we're playing these four Luffy anymore. I might have an incorrect list right now, but regardless, this whatever this is, I'll find out for you guys. But Whitebeard, this completely changed the game. Adding this at the top of your curve, being able to swing 7 that turn that he's slammed, being able to stick just this giant beater that again kills blockers. He has Robin's effect for 2 Don instead, but still kills blockers. You're not blocking this deck. I'm sorry. It's not happening. So yeah, this deck is stupid. And I'm not exaggerating because they've been putting up results for the last couple of weekends consistently and won a Japanese preliminary of over 1,000 players. So try and tell me I'm wrong. Good luck with that one. So yes, this is why he sits alone at the very top. Zoro players rejoice. You are 6 months with an amazing leader. Kinemon replaces Odin and is still pretty good along with Kid. Kinemon, real quick, I really don't want to make this video too long. His ability to cheat things into play. So like a lot of the times, except into red, you're gonna play on the draw. Why? Because Kinemon lets you play a turn 1 Okiku. You know what that is for tempo? You thought doing double 3-drop with Odin was good? Nah, fam. Turn 1 3-drop is amazing, especially this Okiku, like I said. You can do really cute things with Raizo as well. Like you can turn 1 Raizo, then Momonosuke, draw off him, and then draw immediately off Raizo. This Odin is fantastic. Let me cut this card. I keep forgetting to do that. I completely forgot. Alright, let me save that. I keep forgetting to do that because we're playing this Bonnie, and you can't search the other 2k counter card I just got. Anyway, Odin, such a good card. We all thought he was going to be the A-cost kid of the meta, but like if it's so aggressive, we might have to switch it. But this Odin is so good. Being able to have a kid effect on demand on your character of already 8,000 power is busted. And also when he dies, if this card dies, guess what? It literally reads, go search your deck and put an Okiku into play. That is what he does. We're running this one of Cat Viper just as a caution. Like you can get it off the Odin, and it's not bad, and it's still a 3 mana 4k blocker. I'm not saying this is the best version of Kinemon, but the fact is, like, the gist of you get to cheat this into play. Also, you can, if you don't have a lot of characters into play, you can cheat him into for 7. So you don't have to wait till 8 down. You can cheat him in for 7 while you're on the play. Also, cheating these isn't bad. So you can go like turn, like if you're on the play, you can go turn 1 like Momo, and then turn 2, bam, 6k. So yeah, this has a lot of play. This is really like overtly strong. Like you can easily see why. It's not hard. You just carry advantage the entire game. So that's why I have him there. You're playing a lot of the same cards you already do in Kid, except now you're adding this card, which is on play rest of 6 cost or less, which is amazing. Into purple, it's not bad. Gets rid of all those queen blockers to just swing. So yeah. So I like these 3. These would be like my top. I'm gonna talk about this Luffy. I might be in the minority, but I'm gonna talk about that Luffy. My Luffy list. I think I have it here. I don't know if I have. I do not have it. I'm just gonna put it on screen just so you guys can see it. Like I said, blocking just sucks right now. It's really hard to justify it. Let me put the dot on Makino, Whitey Bay. Whitey Bay is such a good card in Luffy. Just being able to always have that Dawn on demand to play her, and then Makino into her is so good. I've killed a Whitebeard today with this card. I've killed 7 cost Kid Blocker with this card. You're like, how the hell are you doing that? I get to attack an active character, but you're like, why is that good? Well, because she's a 1-drop. Literally the only reason why. Makino into her and to give my rested Dawn, and then put a fuckload of Dawn into her, and then just swing. GG, baby. I'm trying this out. I might take this out. What am I missing? We're using Sanjitsuka counter. Only reason I'm doing that is that I don't like Rook as much, just because if I play into green, it might be worth it to draw an extra card off of him. I'm not sure yet. I feel like he's a little more versatile into every matchup. Maybe it's just worth playing the Brook like everyone else does. And 4th pistol. Yeah. So this is what I've been running. This is like my still an amazing red deck and can still perform well into other Zoro, just because this Whitey Bay helps you trade into their cheap little characters really well. So this is what I've been running. This one of Ace, I know you're thinking, well, it doesn't synergize because it's not a Whitebeard leader, but Ace isn't bad because Ace still gives something minus 3k. I'm missing Gordon. I had Gordon in this list. Alright, maybe it's not the exact list, but I've been playing something like this and I've been having a good time with it. So yeah. So I still don't think Luffy's bad. You can play a very similar game to him, slightly about like a little bit slower, and still play well into all the green matchups. Ivan's really good. Blue Impel down. Literally just the Ivankov character and leader character and then character Blue Luffy is such a good swing of tempo. Like it's really hard to beat. Like even into green. Like it gives blue like it shot blue up. Of like steroids. Like it's really good. And then Smoker is the mid-rangey control deck that most players are looking forward to, just because, you know, people like killing things. I get it. You like making your opponent's life sad and destroying all their stuff. You're bad people, but I get it. Nah, jokes aside, like Smoker is what you want to be doing. I put him above this guy, Sakuzuki, only because Smoker is a more aggressive leader. On demand, cost reduction, and then a power boost if you can is really good. You don't need to have an extra removal all the time just because you already have enough, in my opinion. It's more of what combos I'll be able to set up rather than do I have this ability every freaking turn. A lot of people don't have that in their head, but you'll learn. Smoker's just better. you could literally run the same list, but Smoker just has the little edge of being better. Magellan, I think, is underrated, super underrated. Again, he can be aggressive in ways Kaido can't. And Purple Impel Down is really good with the Jailer Beast combo with Sadie. Magellan, the character itself, is really good. That Hell something event card is really I thought it was gonna be busted. Of give some 2 cards minus 3k is amazing. So I have him there in B. This Sanji is really good for like a really fun vanilla tempo deck. You're talking about like cheap decks. This might be it. That still perform pretty well. This red black Garp is like, this takes removal to another game. Like being able to just freely reduce cost and then attack with your character Garp, the new one in the set. It's a 2 cost, attach 1 Don for 3k, who's also 2k counter to boot, so like he's never dead. And then just when he attacks, kill something with 0 cost, which is a lot easier than it sounds when all you have to do is attach Don to get cost reduction. So I think Garp is underrated as hell, but probably still too slow to counteract this. Yeah. I'm not going to go into too much detail more. Dofi got a big support again just because Ivankov is such a good card. There's a little bit of 7 Warlords of the Sea support. There's a couple of ways to build this law. He has access to all the same 1-drops this guy does. It's just, it's really hard. It's just really hard right now. That's all I'm going to say. Like, this is making life really difficult for a lot of decks. So this is probably how I would leave it. Again, like you can definitely make an argument for this law, but being here, but as a law player, I feel like it's really hard. Whitebeard, I'm gonna put him in C instead of D just because he gets access to the same stuff as these two, like I just showed you. Or you can build a very Whitebeardy version, which isn't bad into these green decks. I'm gonna tell you now, it's still not a bad deck. It's just killing yourself every turn is really hard. I thought it wasn't gonna be so bad, and then the metagame got flipped on its head when this deck reared its ugly head. So I think guys, get ready to bow down to your Zoro overlords unless we get some help. I know it's still like month 1, but like, dudes, I've been playing this a lot. I play every day, and I still feel like this is really hard to counter. Like, I'm trying to play like this deck that counteracts it, but then what you end up doing is when you make your deck try really hard to beat a certain deck, and you make every other matchup worse, or you're playing a deck that's so similar, why not just play the better deck? Like, you get what I'm saying now. Like, it's just you're playing suboptimally when you can just play the best deck, and I don't think it's close. But yeah, guys, that's it for me for now.